Sometimes I should have taken back this moment. These words.
It's the Timberwolves, and they're doing business on the road. It's an interconference NBA matchup. It's Wednesday Night Basketball, live on 2K Sports. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan. In the booth, as always, with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Now a chance to check out our starting lineups. And as we take a look here at Derrick Rose, what's your take?
Yeah, he's a full-court man. What I mean by that is he has no problem taking the ball coast to coast on the break, sometimes on his own, or, if he prefers finding an open wing runner. Either way, the ability to create easy points for his team.
Steve, it has to be said here that he operates the pick and roll to perfection. I mean, he delights in running unwitting defenders or blindside picking guys so that he can end up rolling into a basket.
It's on the road tomorrow as the Bulls wrap up this home stretch. They are looking extremely good so far, starting the season on fire. 6 straight wins.
Looking at Chicago, they're not just a pleasant surprise this year, Steve. They're a huge surprise.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who picked them to make this kind of noise from the beginning of the year. They've had a phenomenal run. Oh, man, he goes old school on us with the finger roll.
He shot 2 free throws in the game, made 1 and missed 1.
Well, he had a lot of success at the free throw line in their last game.
He really did. He didn't waste any of those chances when he got them.
Guys, we know it was a struggle last season for the Timberwolves, but against the Eastern Conference, they were pretty competitive. Nearly had a 500 record against teams from the East.
Now here's Love. 14 points from him the last game against Sacramento. Now the feed to Rubio. Just 5 on the clock. And that one's good. Rubio's got his first bucket in this one. Well, back to the Timberwolves. That's a marked improvement over what they've done, Steve, over the past few seasons.
Well, the last few years, that's easily the best winning percentage the Wolves have had against the Eastern Conference. They won't want to take much from last season to this one, but maybe that's something at least they can carry over and try to build on.
Kevin Martin on the wing. Love. Love, right side. It's blocked. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. With it.
Well, quite honestly, guys, he was one of the biggest surprises of the 2011-12 season. Heck of it. I mean, he continued to show that he's a fantastic option at the center spot. Another solid season. I mean, he's a good physical presence, can finish inside, aggressive on defense and on the board, and doesn't have a bad face-up jump shot either.
Here's Rubio following the score by Derrick Rose. And it's Rubio penetrating. He dishes it to Brewer. Back to Rubio. Pass to Martin. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Love, no luck. Going back to Pekovic, or Peck as they call him, Steve, as his teammates call him too. Another productive season. He did struggle with some injuries. Missed about 20 games, but he is a man.
Hey, Peck is a growing man. He is no question.
Yes.
Pretty remarkable. Second-round pick. 31st overall back in 2000.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying hard to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, Mark?
Well, you know what the questions are about now? It's their defense, that's for sure.
Well, they're fortunate. Defense is taking a big chance, leaving him that wide open behind the arc. I think when you look at Derrick Rose, fellas, the most intimidating thing about him is his elite speed. But you also have to consider his size. He's well put together, about 6'3", maybe just a shade over 200 pounds. He is a handful when he's coming at you fast with that strong body and explosiveness.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Turioff comes in for Nikola Pekovic, and Derrick Williams subbed in for Kevin Love. Correa off the bench from Turioff. Correa, the pass to Turioff. That's good. And Clark, you mentioned the size of Derrick. 6'3", not just a speed, too. but the combination of quickness and power. I've always liked this. He goes in there, and he would be a very tough guy to try to stop him. He's got a full head of steam.
No question. He's coming at you with that burst and the strength. That's why he's so overpowering as a point guard.
And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. Gibson setting up big for Butler. Second shot opportunity, and he lays it up and in.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Now, you got to make a defensive adjustment here, Clark. Time to collapse inside, force the ball back out in the perimeter, make them beat you from long range.
Passes to Schved. There's the dish to Williams. 1:10 left to play in the first quarter. Clock at 6, and Schved kicks to Williams. Here's Turioff. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Turioff's got his second basket.
That's some tenacity inside, battling for the second chance points.
Back to Dan. He feeds it to Butler. Butler off the pitch from Dan. Butler goes in. An easy layup after coming off the pitch. Butler's got his second bucket of the night.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
There's not a lot you can do defensively when they continue to get the ball inside and get these easy shots.
Correa dishes to Turioff. On the wing, Williams. Shoots. Off the left rim and out. Touchdowning for Chicago. They won that game against Cleveland.
I thought the way they attacked the rim and got into the paint was phenomenal. It seemed like after a while, the defense just kind of waved the white flag.
That's exactly what will happen when a team continues to attack the goal and come away with layups. It demoralizes the defense.
Here's Correa. Lays it up and banks it in. Now Heinrich. Here's Dang. No good trying to beat the buzzer. The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. Coming up. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Bulls?
With the aggression they're showing early on, I mean, they're driving into the hoop with authority and force.
And they're getting good balance offensively, too, because they're starting to knock down that mid-range jumper.
So on the field for Minnesota, J.J. Barea is out there butting her. Then it's Derrick Williams. Then it's Johnson. And it's Muhammad in its small forward. Dang a screen on Williams. Butler with the ball. Williams picks him up. Dang with the screen for Butler. And it's good. He planted his feet on the pick and shielded the defender off.
Great job of utilizing that screen and finding space to knock down the jumper. Good basketball. Everybody regards Bulls coach Tom Thibodeau as a defensive mastermind, and the numbers back it up again. The Bulls were near the top in every major defensive category. Protected the paint, limited pass pressure, and made sure to challenge any shot that went up.
They'd love to get one of those, the easiest 2 points possible. And on a fierce finish.
Yeah, and that's exactly how they're going to cut into the lead, Kevin.
Yeah, that's why they've got to tighten up their D. I'd be surprised if the defense allows any more free runs to the hoop like that.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Gibson. Boozer comes in for Mike Dunleavy. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Jimmy Butler. The Bulls have gone 4 for 5 from the charity stripe in this one up to now.
And they averaged about 77% from the free throw line a year ago. So this is a solid free throw shooting team.
You know, Kevin, they would love to post a similar percentage again this season. I mean, I think that's safe to say they'd love to shoot free throws as well as they did a year ago.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Gentlemen, remember, Kevin Love was the 5th overall pick back in 2008. And with hard work, he's transformed his body and expanded his game. He said, I love people telling me what I can't do, telling me this is your ceiling. I think all kids in basketball should never put a limit on themselves. I was able to get out of my comfort zone, and because of that, I'm a much better player. Not only physically, but mentally as well. Kevin?
Yeah, his great skill level has always been his own. Thanks, Doris. Shot clock at 6. Took the opportunity when he saw it. And the Bulls lead by 11. The Timberwolves shooting with confidence, 50% from the field so far. So the Timberwolves called their first timeout and going against Chicago, their first meeting of the season. Let's bring up the 2K leaderboard. Here are the top rebounders over the last month. Second, Joakim Noah.
Boy, has he been strong down by the rim, seemingly getting every rebound.
Here's Martin. Really had an off game against the Kings. Never really found his rhythm. He kicks it to Rubio. And it's Chicago with the rebound.
You know, for Ricky Rubio, I think we all know he's a great passer. The question for him coming out of Spain is how well he'd be able to score at the NBA level. And that's been his biggest weakness so far. Shot under 40% from the field this season. And guys, he has developed into a very good shooter, especially on spot-ups or maybe one-dribble pull-ups. He's got range. He's developed that out to the three-point line. But he really likes to go to that mid-range area. One or two dribbles into the paint, he'll rise up and shoot right over the top.
You know what I like about him most, Steve? Dang is a very well-balanced player. He does a lot of good things offensively, but he's just as good at the defensive end. He's a big key to his team's tough defense.
The Bulls leading by 12. And for Rubio, it wasn't just one area of the floor he struggled with. Both on his outside shooting and finishing around the rim, he's going to have to get better.
And you have to think that's been his primary focus. I mean, defensively and passing is very good, so if he can improve his scoring, he'll be in great shape. And it's a combination of adding skill to his ability as an offensive player, but also adding strength and getting familiar with the NBA game. He's a young guy. We'll give him time, but he's got tremendous potential.
And it's Martin penetrating. Rubio against Rose. 6 on the shot clock. And Rubio kicks to Martin. For 3. Can't get it to go. Excellent D there from Kirk Heinrich. Minnesota comes into this one following a loss to the Kings.
And what stands out from that game, Clark, is that they let a lot of points slip through their fingers at the free throw line.
Yeah, and I think some doubt started to creep in as well when they kept missing their foul shots. Guys seem to tighten up and start alligator arming those things.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Rubio, the pass to Bekovic. Working on Noah. His first shot coming late. And that's out of bounds. Minnesota will return possession. Jimmy Butler is jumped in for Chicago. 1:06 left in the first half of the game. And the shot is good.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
Goes off the pick from Noah. Terrific design and a big look. He lays it in. 16 points for Derrick Rose. Timberwolves trailed by 14. Rubio outside. Martin attacking. And count it from 19 feet away. Martin's got 5 now.
They're earning their points with the jump shot now.
Yeah, that's 6 of their last 10 points coming in that in-between range.
Noah with the screen on Rubio. The kick outside to Butler. And Rose throws it down. Some serious agility coming out of that court.
A little more than 2 points when he finishes with that kind of play.
Yeah, against a D that was already reeling a little bit. That was like a body blow.
Taj Gibson's checked in for Chicago. Rubio outside. Kevin Martin on the rip. Rubio against Rose. The 3. And Kevin Martin the bucket on the assist by Rubio. Martin's got 5 points in the quarter. Rose goes in. Here's Butler. And that's not going to go. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And everything is in place and ready to go on the halftime show for this Wednesday night. The Bulls have the lead out in Chicago against Minnesota. They've yet to lose so far this season and are looking fantastic in this one, too. We've seen Derrick Rose scoring effortlessly against this Minnesota defense. Shooting nearly 70% so far, a gaudy shooting percentage, the envy of everybody playing tonight. on the Timberwolves out in San Antonio.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And a look here at the skyscraper surrounding Chicago's front yard, Grant Park. Welcome back, everyone. A fantastic game from Derrick Rose in this one.
Yeah, he was on a mission there in the first half, just trying to get into the lane every time possible.
Aggressive attacking basketball at its very best.
Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. So for Chicago right now, up front, Boozer and Noah. D-Rose and Jimmy Butler back, and it's Dang at the small forward position.
Well, Minnesota won 31 games last season, but only 11 of those came on the road. For a team that was battered and bruised heading out on a lengthy road trip, was often a recipe for a losing streak, and that was the case for them last year. The injuries just really bogged them down.
Well, picking up again on the Timberwolves, road travel could be especially tough on them, just given the geography where their home city is in relation, Steve, to the rest of the NBA.
Well, particularly in relation to the rest of the West, because there the Timberwolves are up north and kind of in the middle of the country. So they have a lot of long trips. But look, there are no excuses in the NBA. I mean, everybody's got their own adversity they've got to deal with.
Three-pointer, 2 seconds left. And he can't bank that one in. Rose kicks it to Noah. Rubio with the rebound.
Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
And it's Martin missing.
Such a solid performance from them inside. The rebounding has been terrific.
Yeah, that's just one of the few things that have gone their way today.
Dang kicks to Rose. It's blocked by Love. And now Minnesota on the fast break. And the basket by Rubio. Rubio's got 8 points.
And they get one to go now after missing their first 3 shots. Maybe this will kick them into gear.
And a look now on our 2K leaderboard to see which wingmen have come away with the most steals over the past month. And you look at Brewer. Opposing teams always need to know where he is on the court.
And this set of guys can do as much or more damage with their defense as they can with their offense. And that damage isn't just limited to one part of the court.
And you put that one right between the uprights, Steve. The small forwards, they're called on to cover a lot of distance at the defensive end. A lot of ground they need to cover. Those steals have come from everywhere. Well, we've got a moment to look back at last year's Bulls. 8th in rebounding, 8th in assists. And they were top 10 in free throw percentage. That's always helpful in winning games.
And what stands out to me, Clark, with what you just talked about is the rebounds, because this is a very physical team. They like to try to bully their opponent at both ends of the floor. On the defensive glass, they were excellent. And then offensively, on missed shots, they really got after it and tried to get second chance points.
Well, Corey Brewer, guys, was part of those back-to-back NCAA championships with those teams in Florida in 2006 and 7. A long, wide, 6'9" perimeter defender who's also improved offensively.
Timberwolves trail by 13. Outside, Martin. Rubio outside. And there's the pass to Bekovic. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio. Bekovic has got his second bucket tonight. Going back to Brewer, the thin man, 6'9", about 190 pounds.
Yeah, Kevin, he can struggle a little bit against stronger players, but he's really kind of found his niche on the perimeter. He's kind of a guy who can guard multiple perimeter players, and then he's a blur in transition, offense to defense. That's kind of what he does.
This is a guy playing with a reconstructed knee as well.
You know, Joakim Noah, part of those back-to-back championship teams at Florida 2006 and 7, was kind of skinny in college in his first years in the league. But he's done a really good job of adding muscle to his frame. That work in the weight room and in his basement have served him well.
Butler against Buttinger, 6 to shoot. Back to Love. And foul call as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. And with the big minutes that Joakim Noah is after, it's a good thing he's been so dedicated to staying in shape.
He's another player, Kevin, who does yoga in the off-season. He's even trained with big weights surfers in Hawaii going underwater with weights in his hands, doing jumping and running. Pretty interesting training regimen, but of course he's a very interesting guy.
Pretty wild, huh? Mike Dunleavy, who's checked in for Noah. Kicks to Buddingham. Love with the screen for Buddingham. Dishes to Love.
Kick it out, kick it out.
Rebound by the Bulls. Butler's got his third rebound on the night.
You know, as the Bulls have been one of the tougher teams the last few seasons, they've done it through dominating the glass and tough defense. Had some injuries to deal with last year, but at the core, this is a defensive-minded team. That's why they're always competitive.
Love, he's covered by Dang. Love, vicious to Shved. And he's knocked off course by the knee. The foul call. He'll shoot free throw. And the Bulls in the top 5 in offensive rebound rate last season.
Yeah, for a team that struggled to produce points with Derrick Rose out the entire season, those extra possessions are just so valuable. Yeah, there's no surprise, really, in the way this team hits the boards. Tom Thibodeau always getting a peak effort out of his guys.
The Timberwolves making a switch here. Bekovic is checked in. Shots good by Butler.
Well, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Timberwolves trail by 15. And here is Shved. Back to Bekovic. Noah with the block.
You got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done in the backcourt.
Well, they've done a lot of things right. I agree with you, Coach. Their rebounding is right there at the top of the list.
You know, last year, guys, I think it was in mid-February, Rose said that he wouldn't mind taking the whole year off. Usually you never hear stuff like that come out of a star's mouth, but his reasoning sounded sound. You have to listen to your body and take it from there. And everybody's a little different in how they respond, not only to an injury, but how they get ready to return and come back to the court.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Pass to Brewer. Back to Love. Love right side. And they force the shot clock violation. 19. Heinrich outside. For the three. No good on that last second attempt there. And as we end the third quarter. Coming up Tuesday. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Bulls.
Boy, guys, I really like how they've driven the ball to the basket in this game. I mean, they've been very aggressive with it.
And they continue to knock down the long-range three-point shot as well.
On the court for Minnesota, Rubio and Martin manning the back. Big man, Love, and Bekovic. And it's Brewer in at the three spot. The Bulls making a switch here. Gibson's checked in. Here is Rubio. Feeds to Martin. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. And Love backs in. A jump hook. Another miss by Love.
And his mechanics are just all out of whack now. He just has no feel for his shot.
Well, his numbers certainly back that fact up. I mean, he has gone ice cold here.
Butler off a pick from Gibson. Butler kicks to Heinrich. And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. And here's what the Chicago Bulls schedule is looking like. Up next for them, the Grizzlies at the FedEx Forum. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. And the Timberwolves making a change here. Shot clock at 3. Shots good by Gibson.
Fellas, that's been a go-to shot for him today.
Yeah, they found that sweet spot between the paint and the three-point line, and they're knocking a lot of those shots down.
Ball's not loose. It's stolen by Williams. Goes up. The dunk and the foul. Power smooth, and he's got a chance for one more. Ricky Rubio picks it up.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. And Bekovic kicks to Martin. The feed to Rubio. Just 5 to shoot. Williams' shot is off.
Difficult shot from mid-range, and the defense was all over it.
Boy, I like the close out there, Steve. Well done.
Dan with the bounce.
It's a great play under the boards for him. And, you know, that's the standard that he sets. It seems like all those second chance points, they're there for him game in, game out.
And it's slammed in by Brewer.
A little bit of a magic act here, pulling off the Houdini to make that catch and slam.
Stupendous alley-oop.
This crowd just stunned at the sight of that one.
Rose with the ball. Tried to bank it in, but he misses.
Well, with that much space off the pick, you've got to drop that in.
Yeah, you got to make that one. I mean, that's a high-quality shot you should make 9 out of 10 times.
The Bulls leading by 21. Elbow shot is on the way. Shot's good by Gibson.
You know, the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
Love it. Old school, just physical play in the paint, dominating.
Williams passes to Rubio. Good. It's Williams who picks up the assist. That's 10 points here for Ricky Rubio.
His shooting has been so good today, and he may have to take it upon himself to try to get his club out of this hole.
Double team on Rose. Gibson back to Rose. He dishes it to Butler. Pass to Rose. Rejected by Martin. Now here's Brewer. Yang grabs the miss. Tang's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. No with a screen for Rose.
That's his 4th foul. I'm sure he recognizes the situation because number 5 put him in a rough, tough spot. You know, the Wolves were just decimated by injuries last year, and it really put a snag in their season from the start. With Rubio still recovering from his ACL tear and Kevin Love missing a lot of time with his hand fractures, they were missing 2 major building blocks.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Tony Turioff, he's checked in for Nikola Pekovic. Bodinger comes in for Corey Brewer. And it's Alexei Shved in for Kevin Martin.
He had a whole lot of space to get that shot.
Yeah, I don't think the defender did a good job there of getting over the top of the screen.
Berea kicks to Buttinger. And the rejection by Heinrich. Now here's Rose, defended by Shved. It's going to be 2 free throws, true contact on the shot. And with the Wolves last year, Ricky Rubio came back and helped them turn things around a bit, but Kevin Love would end up playing very few games for him, Steve. They never really got the chance that they once seemed to have.
Now, Love's injury, I think, just devastated this team. And Rubio, of course, coming off that ACL, he eventually made it back. But those are the key guys. I mean, Rubio and Love have to be the foundation of this club. They added a lot of three-point shooting in the offseason. So this should be a pretty well-rounded team, but it's up to the stars, Kevin.
You gotta love the low-post offense. That was beautiful.
Chicago calls timeout.
And Alexei Shved out of Russia. Last season, the free agent signee by the Timberwolves. And it's not really a bad find either. His shot's still coming along, but he's shown potential as a big playmaking wing.
Ozzie Muhammad checked in for Chicago. Marcus Teague is come in for Derrick Rose. Heinrich can't get it to go. And Minnesota now the other way. There's 53 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Shved dishes to Williams. Shved the pass to Buttinger. Pass to Berea. 3-pointer. And it's Chicago with the rebound. And the Timberwolves with Ricky Rubio and Shved. They've got 6'5", 6'6" guards with playmaking capability.
Yeah, both very mobile. That gives this team some versatility defensively. And the fans loving what's transpired here tonight. A really good victory for these guys.
Sure was. I mean, they did just what they needed to do to keep the visitors from getting any momentum going at all.
And out of bounds as Chicago gets possession.
That's a major mental mistake. I mean, there's no other way for me to describe it. He didn't know where he was on the court. That's a basic fundamental. You have to be alert to where you are.
Heinrich off a pick from Gibson. Heinrich kicks to Gibson. Some solid defense from Johnson. It's off. And so Chicago takes this one. And
should have taken back this moment. These words I spoke, I know it. Now I can see clearly. I folded, I shouldered too much weight. I holding too much pain, and it destroyed me, and then rebuilt me, and now it can feel me. It follows me everywhere I go, but it can never break me. Now I know I was lying to myself back then, but the truth was always bleeding out my pen. I fade back to myself in the end. I'm just one step away. I ascend, I climb that faded staircase of sin. I'm reaching in vain just to hold on to them. Once again, the memories seem to blend. My enemies and friends seem to vanish in the wind. One step closer to your dreams. Does it mean everything in between where you are right now and where you wanna be? Must suffer for the cause like it ought to be. Me against the world in apostrophes. You look around.